Hi guys, and welcome to another little edition of Being Sneaky. I have covered a few topics in this in the past for various things about little snares and tips and tricks to go unnoticed in the woods. Sometimes it's because we just want to be private and we don't want to disturb other people. But in every one of the guys' kits that we're out here playing around, having one of these yo-yos. And I talked about in this early in this series about how this could be used as a distraction, how it's a tripwire to be an alarm, how it's many different things, as well as something that in a survival situation, this could be used for fishing. In most places, this is illegal for fishing, so just be aware of that. So I'm not in any way condoning using this and that type of deal. Let's be clear on this. But in a survival kit, being able to take this and put a small treble hook on it and bait it with a bunch of earthworms and then hang it so that the line is hanging like 4 inches off the ground, and a possum will walk up and bite down on it and swallow them worms. And you'd have a possum or a coon or 1,000 other things. Once you got that, then you can put the guts back onto that hook and hang it back up. So in a survival kit, this would be very helpful. But one of the things about them, they're a little too bright for me. You notice that nice white line that you can see way over yonder? Well, it's great for that fishing thing of being able to set it out and you'll be able to see that white line a long way and tell if it's been pulled or not. But it works a little better to me if I replace it with black bank line. It's not nearly as attractive that way. And yes, it's nice and bright, and you wouldn't want to spray paint that because it would gum up the works. But if you were to take a brush and a pen, you could paint it. Rough sand on the outside and just rough paint it some sort of flat black with a brush. You could spray paint the back of it, just put tape around it so it didn't get in the mechanism. But out here in the mechanism holes, it'd gum it up. So you'd want to just daub it on there to blend it in a little bit better. But I changed out the line on mine to go from that nice white to plain old bank line. Now I believe this is number 12. I believe, might be number 9. Number 9 bank line. And so it's a little bit thicker. Excuse me, number 12. So a little bit bigger. And so it's still got quite a bit of line. In fact, it got a little bit more reach than the original did. So how do you change out the line in it? Well, what you're going to do is this. You're going to tie this base plate to something real secure. Okay? Then you're going to pull it all the way out till you get to the end of it. Just like that. And then you're going to lock in your little tripper to lock in the top. Just like that. Now, what I did then was I took the line and I just pushed the line in. And that allowed it to come slack out here. And I was able to loose it all the way to the end. And I reached in there with an X-Acto knife and I cut it. Then I took my line and I measured out how long the line was, plus a little, not much, probably another 4 feet. I went through that, I threaded in here, and I tied me a cinch knot onto it so I could pull it tight. Gripping this so it didn't slip and make all that spring pressure go away, right? I then pulled it tight. Now I wound the line around it, because if I lift that catch up right there and just hold on to it, I can go around it all the way. Once I got it the right amount on there, so it'd be about the right length, then I was able to just trip it and let it feed line onto itself. So now I got a little bit more line on there. Why would I want more line? In case this line breaks. Because this one has exactly the right amount of line for it to stretch out maybe one more lap. But this is something that's going to be used in survival, ain't it? So what happens whenever I'm trying to catch something four-legged and furry, and it bites through the line, and I lose the line that was hooked to him? I could have shortage of line here, see? So I'm putting myself ahead by having a little bit of replacement line in there. Should the line become short, now all I got to do is pull it and lock it and unloop it to give myself another up to 4 feet of line in a survival situation. Now I've got one piece of bank line going through a single loop. On this one, I've gone and put them through both loops, just like that. So I got 2 anchor points on this one. These are very viable survival tools for all the reasons we mentioned before. Also, by putting that black line in there, it's not nearly as conspicuous as a tripwire, is it? So if I'm using it as a camp security for bears, we shall say, that I could run it across there, so if something at about the right height bumps into it and it triggers it and it makes a racket right here at my head and wakes me up, lets me know there's something in my proximity. So it's an alarm clock. It's a proximity alarm. It's something I can catch small creatures with. It's something I can catch fish with. It has 1,001 uses once you start applying it. But you just make it a little bit better by converting it over to small diameter bank line, putting it on there and giving yourself a little extra in case that line gets broke, bit, or cut. I've got replacement line right here that I can use without having to dig into what I got in my haversack. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you like this type of content, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button for me. I appreciate it. There's more in the Being Sneaky series coming. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.